What is going down, squad? How are we doing today? Can you guys hear me okay? So, just want to make sure that we're all doing well today. Want to make sure you guys can hear me. Hear me, see me. McDonald's Wi-Fi, is it cutting in? Is it cutting out? So, I hope you guys had a great weekend, first of all. Hope you guys had a great weekend. A couple of updates. No kids playing Fortnite today while we are on live. However, I got a little bit of a new setup here. We got a new laptop. It's so nice. It's beautiful. Hold on. Can you hear me now? All right. That cord I was using with that mic wasn't working. So bear with us. We are still getting our setup going here. But it does look like you can hear me. It does look like you can see me. And we shut down that Fortnite. We said, no sirree. No Fortnite is going to be going down while your daddy is doing his lives. All right, I think we're together now. I think we're good. I think I'm in 4K, 3K, hopefully. But good to see you guys again. Sourdough Squad, you guys deserve medals, cookies. Dealing with my issues for this long. Congratulations, I guess, to me, because I don't deserve you guys. It's pretty much what it comes down to. Cash to God. We see you guys. All right, let's get into this. Now that I'm getting all my stuff set up, I think we're okay. I think you hear me, you see me. All right, beautiful. This ginger beard, I hope, is coming in nice and crystal clear. Let's go. I think I realized, again, we'll get into some football topics here in a second. But again, if you've been riding with me, you know this is something we've dealt with for some time. I think the laptop has actually helped. Beautiful MacBook Pro. I'm just saying. But let's talk some stuff. Let's talk some football. It's draft time. It's draft time. We see Eric. He said he's excited for the draft. So I think the main thing that I wanted to do today, ideally, I wanted to come to you guys with my mock 1.0. My mock 1.0 is done. It's completed. I'm really happy with it, but I'm still writing out my article. So I got to do my article. I got to do supporting video. I got to do all that stuff. So your boy's a little behind. But we're still going to have some mock fun. This time, though, you guys are going to do it. I know who I'm going to pick. I know who I'm going to come and present to you guys. Oh, DJ setting the goal. I like this. I like that DJ setting the like goal now. DJ setting the like goal at 100. We got 100 people in here right now. So if all 100 people literally just went and hit that like button, then we'd hit it already, DJ. But I love this. DJ is our chat savant. He's out here making sure we get all our likes up, and he's setting the goals too now. You'd love to see it, DJ. So 100 is going to be our goal. But like I said, I'm going to be coming to you with my mock, with my picks, my trades. I got trades in my mock. Very, very excited about that. But today, I want to see what you guys have to say. I want to see what your picks are going to be looking like. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a full 7-round mock draft, and you guys are going to select the players that we pick. And I'm very excited about that because this is where we are going to see the Sourdough Scouts shine. Who's been doing their homework? Who maybe is a little behind? I'm very excited about that. Very excited to see how the Sourdough Scouts thrive today. Very excited about that. So already at 33. We're already at 33 likes, so that's a good start to our 100 goal. Let's recap a little bit though. Now that I've somehow made it to this stage of the live. Let's talk about. I'm a mess today. If you haven't noticed, I'm a mess today. But hey, we're still gonna get it done because that's what we do around here. That's what we do around here. So let's talk a little bit before we get into our main task at hand. Oh, you son of a gun. All right, like I said, I'm big on showing my screen. It's first time I am doing it on the new laptop, so I have to grant permissions to allow you to share. Oh, it's gonna have to quit and reopen. Okay, this is. Do not get a new laptop and go on live right away. Just don't do it. You're gonna need to do other things first. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we're gonna figure this out. I promise you. Okay. So this is how it's gonna work. This is how it's gonna work. I apologize to every single one of you. I need to give my permission to StreamYard to share my screen. I need to quit and reopen. So I'll be gone for hopefully 30 seconds. I apologize, but you know how it goes. We're trying to get this to work. So I'll be right back. Okay. Stream's off to a fantastic start. If you haven't noticed, the stream is off to a fantastic start. We already got 2 technical difficulties, but hey, we did it. We did it. Shout out the squad for sticking with your boy. Acting like a real boomer right now. Nothing against boomers, because that's what I'm acting like right now. But this is what we got. All right, let's get into it. What happened over the weekend? Anything to talk about? We had George Kittle having some fun. George Kittle went to the hockey game. And when he went to the hockey game, it just feels like no one can go a full conversation speaking to George Kittle without asking him about quarterback rumors, whether is Trey Lance ready? Is Jimmy Garoppolo going to be the guy? And or Tom Brady. Tom Brady. Let's listen to George Kittle get asked about Tom Brady, his response, and what we're going to hear a lot of this offseason. This is just the beginning of this type of conversation, but let's listen.
Are you guys getting Tom Brady? Like, that's what I want to know.
You no, over I think the middle? I'm off air now. Sorry, you're breaking up. I can't hear you. I know just about as much as all you guys.
I like that wristband watch that you have right
that's
there.
That's a good prop. Yeah. Spending those NFL paychecks, aren't you?
George.
Yeah.
Hey, George, the best.
I love it. I think it's gone to the point where it's comical at this point, because you can see it if you understand George Kittle enough to kind of understand his like kind of body language and stuff behind things. When he is asked a quarterback question, his entire body like shifts to like get his energy prepared to answer the question. It's beautiful. He's got it down to an art at this point, whether he's to the point like he's just like, I'm just not going to answer you. I'm just going to pretend like I can't hear you, because that's where we're at. But this is just the beginning. There's going to be a lot more questions asked to George Kittle and all that good stuff. I'll touch on this a little bit. I saw someone say they wanted to talk about it because, it is what it is. It's a part of our little ecosystem, so I'll bring it up. Obviously, yesterday we all kind of had some fun at the expense of Grant Cohn because Deebo Samuel added Grant and said, "Bro, you are hilarious. Everything I post is not pertaining to the Niners. Stop making narratives just for views." I thought this was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie, this was hilarious. I think it's hilarious, to be honest. Anytime a player calls out a reporter, I relish in it. I think it's hilarious. This time it happened to be Grant Cohn. I saw someone comment on one of the posts that I made on Twitter because you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to meme this into oblivion because that's exactly what I do. I love this. And I posted a meme kind of in response to Deebo's tweet. Someone was like, "Man, why do you hate Grant so much? Or why do other reporters hate on Grant so much?" That stuff, like, it's just like, oh, it's just hate. Just hate. It's like, it's not hate. I'm literally having a hilariously good time just at the expense of Grant. That's about it. I think it's crystal clear. Grant and I have very different ways about going about how we do our content, and that's perfectly fine. When you listen to kind of the actual things that Grant were saying, it wasn't out of the realm of possibility. But it was just hilarious that Grant, or not Grant, but Deebo went out of his way and decided to shoot those speculations down because at the end of the day, when you're talking about another man's money, and let's be honest, Grant has the power to create narratives. So it's exactly what it is. Grant's out here on the front lines getting the trade George Kittle narrative, or trying to get the trade George Kittle narrative going and all that kind of stuff. So it is what it is, man. We go about it personally different other ways. I don't hate Grant. Hey, get your clicks, get your views, however you see fit, because at the end of the day, that's the name of the game. Name of the game is engagement. And honestly, not everyone's going to like how you get engagement. Not everyone likes how I get engagement, and that's okay. But that's why I have a role. That's why he has a role, and it actually works. It actually works. I like it. I think it works out well, especially for me and Grant specifically, because it kind of feels like me and Grant are a little bit counter of each other. I think Jay Trans saying it right here. Brad, you're on the opposite end of the spectrum from Grant. And I think that's what's funny about it is I think we do the exact same things, but he's just on the opposite side of it. I'm more glass half full, very player advocate, those types of things. And, he likes to stir the pot. That's fine. He stirred the pot. We got a great laugh out of it. Players loved it. I thought it was a good time. But let's keep it rocking because let's get into the actual mock draft. Let's get into some drafting time. Again, I don't want to talk about too much about that other than that it was fun and I enjoyed it because just like any other time, you know what happens. Everyone starts talking about it. Everyone gets all crazy. And it's a lot of fun. So I like it. And let's see. Let's get into the draft. Again, the George Kittle trade thing is exactly so I'll say this about Grant. Like if you're getting mad, I kind of look at it like this. If you're getting mad at Grant in 2022, I think that's just more honestly, it's more reflective of kind of like, honestly, you because we understand what he does and what his brand is. He does a great job of his brand. And once you kind of understand what it is, you shouldn't get upset at it anymore. But that's fine. He has a good thing going. It's working for him. But let's get into this. Let's get into the draft. I don't want to talk about that situation anymore. So as you guys know, the 49ers don't have a first round pick here. There's no first round pick, but there is going to be an ongoing conversation, and especially this week, because we understand why. It is the NFL Scouting Combine. The entire NFL world is going to be ascending, descending, whatever. They're going to be taking over Indianapolis. I will be in Indianapolis on Wednesday. Technically, the scouting festivities start tomorrow. I believe they're going to be doing a lot of like measurements, likely doing the probably jump the measurable portions of the combine. So I'm going to miss that, but I will be on site for all the on-field workouts. So from Thursday to Sunday, I will be at the NFL Combine covering it, doing what we do. And of course, at the end of every day, we'll be able to talk about what we saw from the Combine and get through it all. So I'm very, very excited about that. But this is a big week because if you are in the NFL world, whether that is employed via the NFL from the personnel side of things, or media, you're probably going to be there. So I'm excited to get out there and see what it is. I got my new laptop. Yep, tell them. I got my new laptop. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get this thing rolling. But in the meantime, let's get this draft rolling. So as the things that we were talking about, the 49ers going to the combine, they have an asset in Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo likely will get traded, I would imagine, sometime around the combine. It could be right as it gets started, could be in the middle, could be at the end, could be a couple days after. But I do see a world that exists where Jimmy Garoppolo could get traded very soon. Because as we know, teams are going to start filling the positions. They're going to start. We heard the Steelers come out with a report today saying that they are going to be looking at Jameis Winston, Mitchell Trubisky, and a couple other quarterbacks in free agency. Again, the 49ers and Steelers have been linked as potential trade targets for Jimmy Garoppolo. So we want to see where these pieces are going to start to land. We want to see what's going to happen. Jimmy Garoppolo is likely going to be a piece that gets traded, whether you get additional draft capital in return, you potentially get a player and draft capital in return, or just a player. There are a bunch of different ways to go about it, but it is important to remember the 49ers could end up in the first round. They could. Right now, it doesn't seem likely, but they could. So it is what it is. And as you see, the San Francisco 49ers are on the clock with pick 61. Let's look at some of the picks that went before him, or before the 49ers are on the clock at 61. Channing Tindall, linebacker out of Georgia, went to the Green Bay Packers. Christian Harris, linebacker, went to the Bucs. Sam Howell, quarterback, went to Atlanta. You got Kenyon Green, who slid quite a bit in this mock, to the Buffalo Bills at 57. You got Sky Moore, wide receiver out of Western Michigan, is I think someone that could do pretty darn well at the combine. And you can see you got a long list of players ahead of them, but you can also see who's still available on the board. So right here at pick 61, according to this mock, the San Francisco 49ers could take a safety like Jaquan Brisker out of Penn State, a guy who's kind of been floating around fringe round one territory. They have him ranked at 38, but he is dropped and available at pick 61. You also have guys available like Zion Johnson. Zion Johnson, who was a guy that I saw and stood out to me at the Senior Bowl. He was a guy who did a lot of really, really good things at the Senior Bowl. He is a guard, but they are transitioning him to play center. I see him being a natural center fit in the NFL. I see him playing both positions, but I see him could be a center as well. You got wide receiver Jahan Dotson out of Penn State. You got defensive lineman Travis Jones out of Connecticut. You got edge Boye Mafe, who is really climbing boards as of late. Hold on one second. Got a little bit of news, nothing crazy. We got a little bit of news here. The San Francisco 49ers are expected to hire Michigan graduate assistant Stephen Edojoki, RIP last name, in a defensive quality control role. Prior to Michigan, he was a former Mississippi State defensive back, worked at Florida. So the 49ers are continuing to add members to their staff. This particular ad, again, is quality control. So it's a lower tiered, it's a lower tiered spot, but Newsome that just popped up. Kyler Gordon. Don't sleep on Kyler Gordon. Kyler Gordon and McDuffie out of Washington, quietly one of the best defensive back, at least cornerback rooms in the country. Kyler Gordon is built the right way. You have Justin Ross, who slid, Trey McBride, who by all accounts is the best tight end in the NFL, and you start getting deep down. So based on what we are seeing here, it's time to get the chat involved. Wake up, chat. Wake up. Pay attention. So this, we are going to draft for need a little bit. So keep in mind, this positional need will transition into who we draft later. So let's see the votes. With the 61st overall pick in the TheSFNiners fan live mock draft, who are the 49ers selected? So far, we got Gordon Raw as F. Jason says my vote goes to Gordon. Shout out, James. Hope you have a good one, my friend. Hendrick says McCreary or Gordon have to be the picks here. I saw your super chat at the end of, I think it was Friday's live. Is it Ramon? I think I've been calling you Raymond. Is it Ramon? But Kobe Bryant is actually being slated. We could probably grab Kobe Bryant if the 49ers want to go if we want to go two quarterbacks, we can probably grab Kobe Bryant around the fourth round. Probably around the fourth round. Ooh, we got a Boye Mafe. We got a Boye Mafe vote. We got another McCreary. We got another Gordon. Oh, we got our first Brisker. Another Gordon. Ooh, another McCreary. Okay, so Brunel saying for me it's either Mafe or Gordon. Feels like we are leaning Gordon. So I'm going to go ahead and decide for us right now based on kind of what I'm seeing in the chat. with the 61st overall pick in the SF9ers' first live mock draft. How do you put a poll on the stream? Because this is a great idea. I'm working off of this will be a question that I figure out in a second, but that's a good point. But I don't know how to do that right now. So we've already had our enough technical difficulties, but I'm going to go ahead and say we'll look into that in a little bit. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and say for the first pick, we select as a group Kyler Gordon out of Washington. Now let's look at the pick a little bit as it continues to run through. You get a really quick look at the measurables. He's 6 foot, 200 pounds. He's a sophomore too. So likely a redshirt sophomore, I would imagine, because he wouldn't be able to be eligible. But you can kind of get an idea of some of the stats. The passer rating when Kyler, I almost said Kyler Murray, Kyler Gordon was targeted was a 49.1 in the pass happy Pac-12. He had 2 interceptions, gave up 0 touchdowns after all the 41 targets that went his way. Only 21 of those were completed. Again, the 49.1 kind of passer rating has something to do with that for 243 yards. And you got the overall grade at an 87.2. But when you really watch Kyler Murray, I almost said it again. I did say it. Kyler Gordon. Yeah, this is it. Kyler Murray in a stroller right now, kicking his legs. He wants more milk. But Kyler Gordon, when you watch him play, he has a lot of very, very solid traits. When you're looking at traits, at least from my perspective, from a cornerback, I like guys who can cover. It seems pretty straightforward. But I also like guys that are physical, guys that they can show that they can execute press man. They can come up and tackle in the run game. They can do all that kind of stuff. Kyler Gordon, to me, based on what I've seen, he is a complete cornerback. I like what he brings to the table. So I think this is a great pick. If the 49ers were to select Kyler Gordon at 61, I also think it's good value. I think it's great value because he becomes, in my opinion, he's a starting quality day one into training camp. You could plug him in. Maybe as your second string cornerback, works his way up to the first group. I think he's that good. So Kyler Gordon comes away with the pick. The 49ers don't pick again until pick 93. They make their way down. Romeo Doubs goes to the Green Bay Packers right ahead of the 49ers. You got other guys like Perion Winfrey. Winfrey absolutely demolished the Senior Bowl, but you also got guys like Nick Cross go off the board to Buffalo. D'Angelo Malone. If someone like the Dallas Cowboys were to get a draft crush of mine, like D'Angelo Malone, I'm crying. I will be punching air. But as you can see, and they're alluding to in the chat, look at how far Jahan Dotson has fallen. Yeah, it looks like, I think because I might be streaming via outside source, it might not work the same in regards to poll. But, however, Justin Ross goes before Jahan Dotson in this mock. Again, he's the 42 ranked player according to PFF. So let's say in a situation where the 49ers do see a bit of a free fall from a player like Jahan Dotson, Does that become a situation where the 49ers, it doesn't matter, needs, when a player like Dotson falls, you just grab him, right? Is that kind of what we're looking up against? Because we understand in the draft, this is going to happen. We're going to see players that we expect to go higher. They're going to fall because of maybe concerns that we aren't aware of. Maybe there's injury concerns or things off the field that we just don't know. That, you know, we see the talent, we scout the talent, and we see it as one thing. But is there a situation where you still draft for need, or we go best player available? So far, I'm seeing BPA. I'm seeing snatch him up, scoop him up. We got John Dotson is a Niner legend already. Take the best available player, no doubt. And I agree. I think the Sourdough Scouts are off to a great start. Best player available will do you more right than it does you wrong. So I see people asking about Christian Watson. There might be a chance that if we want to get have a lot of fun with this mock, we can try to target Christian Watson at pick number 131. So we can try this. We can take best player available. Best player available is going to be Jahan Dotson. The fact that he slid this far, criminal. Someone call PFF right now and write an angry letter and say, how dare you? How dare you? But let's see what happens. Because we're going to have to do it. Sourdough Scouts are already on point. Best player available without question. Jahan Dotson, wide receiver, Penn State. Boom. So just like that, the 49ers have filled two positions. So now they have a legitimate number 3 wide receiver in Jahan Dotson. And let's take a look at some of his stats and kind of some of the things that he does well. But again, the 49ers, like, realistically only have 2 wide receivers under contract. Now, Jawan Jennings, I believe, he's either an ERFA or RFA. So he's not an unrestricted free agent, but I think he does need another contract. So the 49ers do need they need depth. They need depth at wide receiver. And I think too, if you make this selection and you go best player available and you get Jahan Dotson, you can also look at him too as maybe a potential contributor year one right away on special teams as a returner. Again, 5'11", 184. I like his age at the age of 21. That means that you're giving him his second contract at about 24, 25. It means you're going to get a lot of years out of him, potentially get him into a third contract. I think for me, when I'm drafting, that's what I think about when it comes to age. I'm trying to get guys to a potentially third contract where they're still going to be effective. They're not going to be 35 getting their third contract. When we look at the production that Jahan put up in 12 games, dude put up some dang production. 91 receptions, over 1,100 receiving yards, 12 touchdowns in 12 games. Dude averaged a touchdown a game, and the skill set and that he provides, he's a do-it-all type of guy. Now, he might not be huge from a frame perspective, but he can do it all. He can work over the middle. He can go deep on you. He can high point it, contested catch. Doesn't matter. I'm going to be very interested to see what he tests at the combine here coming up. But this is a steal for the 49ers, at least based on pure rankings. And then again, you add him to 2 bona fide wide receivers. All right, so let's see who's available now with 131. So if the 49ers did want to get crazy, again, that this means that the 49ers, understand free agency will have occurred by the draft, and we would have a better idea of what the actual wide receiver room looks like. But hey, look, that's Christian Watson. You could go Jahan and stack Christian back to back, Dotson and Watson. That could be fire. That could be fire. But are you going to go with what your heart wants or what your brain knows it needs? Because as Jason is alluding to, the 49ers still have plenty of holes at offensive line at this point. They got the wide receiver. They didn't think he was going to be there. It wasn't the plan to target a wide receiver in the 93 hole, but it happened. Do they go back-to-back wide receiver? Nope, they don't. So far, we're getting look at safety, edge, and O-line. And these, I think, in my opinion, are the three main positions of need that the 49ers need to address in this draft. And I think McCarr says it perfectly. Safety, edge, and O-line in no particular order. I think you take these three needs and then you go BPA based on these three needs. So whoever we think is going to be the best edge, safety, or O-line, I think that's who we take right here. That's my 2 cents. But I do want to see what the chat is thinking, because Martin Emerson, a cornerback. Now, that could be a potential. You want to go dual cornerbacks? Again, we already got the cornerback, though. So maybe it's an opportunity we don't go back to the well. Marcus Hayes is going to be a guy that I am watching with a big asterisk next to at the combine. I believe Marcus Hayes, this man right here, has the potential to go to the combine and make some money. I think he has a potential at 6'5", 224 pounds, has a potential to test well. So he's going to be a guy I'm looking for. You got James Cook, the brother of Dalvin Cook. Okay, so this is the value. This is where the value is stacking. Let's pretend this is our board, right? This is our board. So this is what we're going off of based on the available players. Luke Fortner here. Let's see. Yeah, he went way. Cole Strange is already gone. I saw someone talking about Cole Strange. He's gone. So he didn't make it back around. Let's see. So what are we thinking? What are Fortner? You got a center here. You got a guard here. You got another guard in Lekitis. I'm so bad at names. What are we thinking? I'm really upset that West is gone. West has been going high. We had Donovan West go 110. I've seen him go as high in the 80s in these mocks. So, and I think Donovan West is only going to be higher. I think if the 49ers want a shot at him, it's going to be at 93. I don't think it's gonna last. So far, based on the chat, we got Hayes. McCarr wants to see the safety position. So I'll show you rank by position. So these are the available safeties that are left. Not a ton of great stuff available. But it is a need. It is a need. So far, we got Fortner. We got 3 Fortners. 4 Fortners. I think that's I like that. I personally like the Hayes pick. But I respect the chat. We're going chat, and not because I don't like the pick. I'm going to be honest. I haven't watched him yet, so fortunately, not a ton of analysis on this particular pick. But let's take a look. Let's look at the tail of the tape. Let's get our first impression. I still got plenty of homework to do. 6'6". My goodness. Fortner 6'6", 300 pounds. Sheesh. 2 sacks given up, 1 hits, 2 hurries. Nothing crazy there. It's a pretty solid grade when you look at it. That's a good grade. That's a really good grade. You can see how he's this is interesting breakout of snaps here. So this is interesting. You can see played primarily as the starting left guard in 2019, but he also played 100 snaps. Right guard. Also played 100 snaps at left guard. Then he split almost an even snap count between left guard, right guard in 2020. Then he goes to 848 all at center in 2021. I like that. I like that a lot. That's, again, position versatility. Position versatility, huge. Huge. You see how much the 49ers value position versatility, especially in the offensive line. So I like it. I need to do more research. I need to get my eyes on him. But what I'm seeing, size-wise, I like how he started at guard, transitioned to center. That's always my favorite. So I like that. I like that a lot. Let's see who else is left. I'm seeing the chat call out for tight end. But let's go back. Let's look at who we've drafted thus far, just so we can address which player we've taken at which position. The 61st pick, we selected Kyler Gordon out of Washington, cornerback. That's a day one starting caliber cornerback right there. So I think that's a great pick from the chat. Pick 93, which is our second pick in this mock draft. The chat selects Jahan Dotson. And that is because of an epic slide that we did not anticipate. And the chat made another very strong, sound decision by going best player available. Now, do they need Jahan Dotson? Not necessarily, but best player available will always suit you best, in my opinion. And that is it's a premium enough position and player that you pull the trigger on that. And then pick 131 comes around. This is going to be a great opportunity to still find starting offensive line help. You can find a starting offensive lineman at 131. Might not be the prettiest, might not be the sexiest, but it happens like clockwork all the time. You can find starting caliber interior offensive linemen around this area of the draft every year like clockwork. And I think the chat found a great one with our guy, Luke Fortner, center out of Kentucky. But that leads us up to our next pick at 170th overall. Who the 49ers going to select? I see the tight end being called for. This might be a good opportunity to take a tight end, because if there's one thing that we were able to pick up on and notice was when Trey Lance was playing, they ran 2 tight end sets religiously. So if the 49ers draft a tight end in this draft, won't be surprised. Won't be surprised at all. Especially with how Ross Dwelly kind of took a step back a little bit. But we are getting to the point where edge is still a need, and edge is getting barren in regards to who's actually available. So if this is the case, you're going to hope that the 49ers actually went after edge in free agency, because I don't think at least at this point, based on who I've seen, I don't know if you want to go on edge now, because you could grab a guy like defensive lineman Haskell Garrett. The 49ers already took a wide receiver, but if they wanted another kind of do-it-all, potential return ability, and want to go after Kyle Phillips, that could be there. But again, they've already took a wide receiver. You could go cornerback, go 2 cornerbacks with Mario Goodrich. I would say Owuzuruk. I'm gonna destroy this name. Owuzuruk. I don't know why I have such a hard time on names, man. Wazaruki. I would say he's going to be the best available edge. But if you had to ask me, I'm going to go ahead and say Greg Dulcich is the best available player on the board. Either it's going to be, I think, Haskell Garrett, Tyler Batty. I know Justin's in here. Justin said, I got to vote Tyler Batty for the culture. Batty's been rising up boards a little bit. But you also, who else is down here? Brad Hawkins could be at safety, be in the mix. So what are you guys thinking? What are you guys thinking for this pick? I agree with Luke. If you're going to go edge, it's got to be in the first 100. Got to be in the first 100 picks, or you're going free agency. Really don't think you want to go too late. We got a Pierre Strong votes, halfback out of South Dakota State. Could they go halfback here? Ramon says Batty would be a steal. Texas A&M D-end. Who else? We got Justin saying Dulcich or Batty. Who else? The name I can't say. Ioma Warzuruki. So what are we thinking? Jason saying no edge, and let's go Dulcich. Another one for the tight end. Oh man, I'll be honest. I was watching Hayward today. I am super surprised how they use him. He's listed as a tight end. But the way Michigan used Hayward, they used him as a running back. They used him as a kick returner. They used him as a fullback. They used him as a wildcat quarterback. Hayward's a ball player. Hayward is a ball player. They just don't know where to put him. He would be perfect in this offense. If you could get Hayward, the tight end out of Michigan State, well said. Yeah, he's like that. It's crazy. But he's going to go. He's way late. All right, I'm going to make the decision. We're going to go best player available again. So best player available in my mind is going to be Greg Dulcich. I don't think he goes this late. I don't think he goes that late. To me, I kind of see him as a top 100 pick. I don't see him going at 170. 6'3", 245, He's just built the right way. He's going to be able to do it in both the run game and the passing game. Again, you can see what he did in his final year at UCLA. He was able to bring in 42 catches, turn that into 725 yards and 5 touchdowns. The 49ers need more tight end help. The 49ers need more tight end help. Charlie Warner did a phenomenal job in his development. Charlie Warner proved to me he is a player that deserves to be on the roster, but we saw them carry 3 tight ends more often than not, and we know they use 2 tight ends all the time. So if potentially Ross Dwelly is out, then I'm going to go and go with the tight end room. George Kittle, Charlie Warner, Greg Dulcich. That's not bad. That's not bad. I would say you upgrade your tight end room with that pick. You swap Ross out, you get Greg in there based on Greg, and his name's Greg, so that's an automatic win. You got 2 Gregs. You got 2 Gregs in there. 2 Gregs in the tight end room. Sounds like check. We are at 83. We could get to 100 real quick. We could get to 100 likes real quick. Again, if you haven't, smash that like button. Get us up to 100. Thoughts on Jeremy Ruckett? I think he's a good tight end. I think he'll be a successful tight end. He kind of reminds me little Austin Hooper-ish, from an archetype standpoint. I'm not saying he is Hooper. I'm just saying, like, when you look at Hooper and you see a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, could play the tight end level at a pretty high level, but it feels like there's a cap to how high of a level he plays at. That's kind of what Jeremy Ruckert reminds me of. I think he's going to be a good tight end, starting tight end. A guy, if he lands in the right spot, can be good in the NFL. Just based on what I've seen up to him up until this point, he's kind of a cap. So we'll see. Njoku, I heard reports that Njoku could get paid. Isaiah Likely, I haven't watched him yet, but this is one of those guys that I already know that once I watch him, like I've watched him, Isaiah Likely is out of Coastal Carolina, right? I believe he's out of Coastal Carolina. If I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure he's out of he's already drafted, so I can't even see him. But I am a big Grayson McCall fan. I am a big Grayson McCall fan out of Coastal Carolina. I think he's going to be a phenomenal quarterback. I really think he's like a poor man's Justin Herbert. I really like Grayson McCall out of Coastal Carolina, and I know I've watched Likely. I just haven't studied Likely, but I've watched Likely in real time, so I know who he is. I know baseline what he is, but scouting and studying, it's a different level of understanding. So he's someone I still need to study, but I like him. I know I like him, and I know I'll like him more once I get into it. Have we picked yet? Okay, so we did. We went with the tight end. Greg Dulcich, UCLA. In my opinion, it was best player available. Also fills a need and fills a role that the 49ers need to continue to move towards. So what we're getting close. We're getting close. We have 4 more picks left in our first fan mock draft. We have 7 likes away from our goal of 100. Smash it. And this is where we stand. So again, we can go a lot of different places here. We could go edge. we could go edge here. We went interior offensive line at pick 131. We went IOL center at 131, center guard combo. So we do have someone available. And then since then, we took a tight end. And now we still need edge. Maybe use another DB. We haven't got safety yet. We're not drafting long snapper. Sorry. No kickers either. Not allowed. Not allowed. So far, if you had to ask me, I would say Goodrich is up there with BPA. If we're starting to look at who's available and who's BPA based on who I've seen, I haven't seen every one of these people. I've seen a good amount of them. But if I'd be looking at edge, I'd be looking at Goodrich. If the 49ers want to go maybe defensive line depth, again, maybe the thought process is we don't know what's going on with DJ Jones. We don't know what Javon Kinlaw's status is looking like. RB, I like the I know you were mentioning Pierre Strong a little bit a while back. He's still on the board. Two away from that 100. 2 away. But the 49ers could opt to go tackle, right? Potentially go tackle here. Add some tackle depth. Again, we understand, Lakin could be gone. Matt could be gone. So we don't know. We drafted cornerback number 1. So with the 61st pick, we took Kyler Gordon. Let's go. Good job, Sourdough Squad. We got it. We did. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to 100 likes. Good job. Let's go. Shout out DJ for getting that done. Appreciate you, my boy. Let's go. That's a W for DJ too. Let's go. Shout out DJ. Always making sure our likes are on point. Appreciate you, my boy. Oh, okay. What do we want? Look at safety. Look at Bubba Bolden. So I've seen you mention his name a couple times. He appears to be gone. If he's not on the board at all, but he doesn't look to be available. Looks like he's gone. Let's see who else. So again, the 49ers they still need cornerback depth. Cornerback depth could be a possibility here. What do we also want? Maybe offensive tackle, maybe D-line, edge, linebacker. So we could. All right. So we got one Yusuf Corker. We got Tariq Woolen, cornerback. I'm not sure who that is. Where is he? So I'm excited. I still got lots of scouting to do, especially on the back end. I'm excited to get into some of these names, man. Tyreek Woolen. Why don't I see that anywhere? Tyreek Woolen. I don't see him. I think he was drafted already. We're trying to draft a guy that doesn't exist to be drafted. All right. So let's reset. We've been throwing out a bunch of thoughts and ideas. Reset. Who do you want to draft with the 187th selection here? Drop it into the chat. Nice and easy. Drop a name or a position that you would like to target with this particular pick. And then that's how we'll get it done. Because the draft clock is ticking. Ooh, so far, since we reset, we got Alontae Taylor from Tennessee. I like this pick. I like that pick a lot. McCarr says, I think we need to go safety here, so he's looking positional. Jay says Jack Jones, cornerback ASU later, though. Volson, that is the wait. Maybe not the same person. Darian Butler. I don't see. Not seeing a Butler. Volson knows Trey Lance, though. Interesting. All right. I may have to make an executive decision here. It doesn't feel definitive enough. So I may have to make the executive decision. Jay Tran drops in wide receiver. So the 49ers we've already selected one wide receiver. Again, still potentially need more. Still potentially need return help. Kyle Phillips, I think, is a great option, especially if you're looking for a returner. Ooh, shout out the Twitch stream. Mario Goodrich, I think, is going to be a good option potentially. Also, Awarzaruki. You know what? Screw it. I'm drafting the guy that I can't pronounce. We're doing it. I'm getting it done. 49ers needed edge, and I make the executive decision to go edge. I think at this stage in the game, he's one of the better players available on the board. Again, he's a massive human, 6'6", 320 pounds. He's a redshirt senior coming out of Iowa State. He did collect 9 sacks last year over 13 games. 29 of those were quarterback hurries. He got 5 hits, 1 batted pass. You can see he played a pretty equal share of snaps in both the run and pass game. You can see he put in a lot of work in the A-gaps. I like that. Do you know why I like that? Because remember one of the things that we looked at about Arden Key, why I like Arden Key so much, is because he's a natural edge. But when you take those natural edges and you put them in the A gap and you put them over the guards and the centers, it's completely different. It's completely different way of managing things as an interior offensive lineman. So you can see right here, outside tackle 241, over tackle 104, B gap 98, A gap 210. So I like that. I like that split. That to me is an Eric Armstead split. I like that. So as we know, the 49ers do a bunch of different stuff. Kyle Shanahan. This is from Matt Mayoko. Kyle Shanahan and his 49ers coaching staff will not attend the NFL Scouting Combine. The staff includes new hires, will stay back in Santa Clara and evaluate the film of the prospects. SF's personnel department and scouts are in Indianapolis. Okay, that makes sense. So, from that report. But I personally like the pick. I personally like the pick. I think we got an edge, got him really late. But now it's house money. Now it's house money. Who are we? We got 3 picks in a row, and the last 3 picks in the draft. Who are we taking? Who are we taking? Throw out a name, and that's who we're drafting. Beautiful. I love this. I love it. On brand. We're going straight. Oh no. No way. Better be available. Did he get taken? Did they take Hayward? No. Oh, there's Darian Butler. There's Justin's boy that we were looking for earlier. Did they take him? They took him. 206. Wow. I totally would have went Hayward. Hayward's going to show up in my mock draft for sure. Get ready for that. He's for sure showing up in my mock draft. Let's see. Verdell. Okay. We add a running back. Let's go. I like the pick. Then we go. McCarr's taking out the bottom half of the draft, apparently. I like it though. But I'm gonna let Hendricks get one in here. Oh wait, he might be gone. Never mind. He's gone already. I see a Ben Brown from Old Miss. Where'd he go? Oh, we're so close. Looks like he's gone too. All right. Let's make this easy. So we got a tight end. Let's go safety, Percy Butler, Raging Cajuns, and Dominique Robinson's still there. Let's see who's going to be Mr. Irrelevant. I don't see him. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make another pick. Unless someone wants to drop it real quick. Yeah, go kicker. You guys really want me to end the mock with the kicker? If you guys want it, I'll do it. Ooh. Danny Gray. Where's Danny Gray? Backup quarterback. I like that. I like that move. We're going to get the kicker on the free agent. We're going to get the kicker off the streets. Let's go with the very last ranked quarterback. Should we go Brock Purdy? It's pretty underwhelming. He's okay. Probably not going to be anything other than a backup. But neither is anyone else. So we're going to go Western. It's going to happen. Yep, we did it. Good job, guys. Look at how good we did. So with with our first live chat SF9ers mock draft, this is what you have done. I guess we have done. This is what we have done with the second pick. Number 61 overall. The 49ers get potentially a day one plug-and-play starter who matches up with physical wide receivers but has the ability to maintain athletic wide receivers. So the 49ers potentially get a plug-and-play, ready-to-go cornerback in the mid-second. Not bad. He was ranked number 50th overall on PFF's big board. So guess what? That is a steal. Good job, guys. So based on this board, that's value. So we got value. We got value. Jahan Dotson, though, slides all the way to the third round. And the 49ers select Jahan Dotson, wide receiver out of Penn State in a shocking move. The number 42 overall prospect on the board slides to 93. And the value was too tantalizing to pass up. We select Jahan Dotson, 93 overall. And as a result, we move to the fourth round pick, 131 overall, and select center Luke Fortner. One of the things that we really liked about Luke is that he played both guard and center with his time at Kentucky in the SEC, and there is some value that comes along with that. The 49, then we come back and select Greg Dulcich, tight end out of UCLA, fifth round pick 170. Now, they say 163 for his value, but if I'm not mistaken, Daniel Jeremiah of NFL Network came out today and put Dulcich, I believe, in his top 50 overall prospects. Not only was he top 50, but he was like in the 40 range. So if this were to be the case and you got Greg at 170, probably the best value of this mock draft. And then we were able to indicate we were able to get the edge out of Iowa State. This guy plays inside. He plays outside. He plays outside on base downs. I think the most important thing that he does is the ability to rush the passer from the interior. So although we are looking for outside edge rushers and guys who can pass the rusher on the outside, we still need guys who can rush from the interior. That's a spot that where we like this guy. We also were able to come back with our last picks, get CJ Verdell, Oregon running back, Percy Butler, safety out of Louisiana, and Caleb Elby, quarterback, Western Michigan. All right, now let's grade it. Grade our mock draft. Grade our mock draft. No holding back. No holding back. Let us know. How did we do together? How did we do? We might not have took the guy that you wanted. Let us know if we did it and we messed up immensely, or this is just going to be a fantastic draft. B minus. I think that's fair. C plus. I also think that's fair. B. If I had to grade this, I think I am right there in that same exact category. I am looking at B minus, C plus. I agree. I think we could be better. I think Jahan Dotson's slide could have really shaken up our board a bit and kind of where we were targeting certain people. So, but I would say B minus, C plus. I would say that's good. That's a good start. It's a good start for us as a group. I think we did pretty well. Good job, squad. A. If you're getting B drafts, you're lasting in the NFL for a very long time. If you're hitting B, if you're hitting at like an 80% in the draft, that's good. That's great. People forget that drafts are difficult. But the Double D brothers, that would be spice. That would be spice. Joey says, seriously, a special kind of bad on Kyler Gordon's tackling. I find that to be interesting because in my first impression is going to be much different than me studying the guy, watching 3 games every snap, and having a definitive opinion on him. But I actually thought he was a good tackler. So that's going to be something that I actually want to go back and look at. Because when I was watching him, I saw physicality. I saw a guy who would come up and make tackles. But again, it's first impression. I saw a guy who would get down and dirty and physical. So Joey's saying it's not the case. And it has me intrigued. But overall, I think if we were to look at this, we'd be okay with it. I don't think we're like the Jahan Dotson pick would be kind of cool just because we see him as a value, potential fringe first round value. But he slid. What's going to make these more fun is when we start doing the Jimmy trade. So let's say Jimmy gets traded. Maybe he doesn't. The next ones that we do are going to incorporate more trades. They're going to be more movement. And I'm excited. I think it'll be fun. So good job. Great first round attempt at getting that mock done. Not bad for a first try. Not bad. I think we all did well. Congrats. Could have missed a golden opportunity there. Missed a golden opportunity to get Smoke Sunday. Or Smoke, wait. Is it Smoke Monday or Smoke Sunday? Monday. I can't remember what his last name is. It's either Sunday or Monday. Probably Monday. But we missed out on that safety from Auburn. Could have had him. But, oh well. We'll get there. All right. You guys have any other questions, comments, concerns? How's the Sourdough Squad doing? How are you guys doing? You guys doing good? Now the kids can have their freedoms back. So what's it like learning the Mac? Well, I'm always been a Mac guy. And I'm not gonna lie. It's been so at work when I used to be a project manager, they had me on Windows, and I would get frustrated on the daily. Of using my Windows PCs. But Macs are so easy to me. It's so simplified. I feel like Windows always has 4 extra steps. This is good to know. Combo no Fortnite, combo new laptop. We might have gotten part of the missing key. So mock draft, mine should be coming tomorrow. I wanted it to come out today. I'm not going to lie, I got behind on it, but I do want to get it out tomorrow so then we can rip apart my mock draft because I'm going to have trades. I'm going to have a Jimmy trade. I'm going to have all kinds of stuff built into that. So I wanted that today, but we will do that tomorrow. And then we'll do more off-the-cuff mock drafts and stuff like that. But I want to make sure the first mocks justice has been done. So tomorrow, tomorrow we will be getting the mock draft out. Tomorrow we'll be getting the mock draft out. Let's go, Cash the God. So it's a great show, Brad, as always, and great job, Mod Squad. Shout out to Mod Squad. Grab your cookies on your way out. I appreciate you guys, as always. I guess you're going to have to wait and see. I guess you're going to have to wait and see. Interesting comment. Okay. But anyways, you're going to have to find out. You're going to have to find out. You're going to have to find out. So I'm excited. But as you guys know, I'm getting ready to go to the combine this week. So I got a lot of stuff to do. A lot of stuff to get ready. Still got to do my mocks. I still want to come back tomorrow with a lot of focus. On prospects and the draft, obviously. Be talking about this tomorrow. So I do have a prediction for Jimmy G's trade, and that will be in the mock. And then you'll also see who I select with those picks or which veterans I got in return. So that's what I like. We'll do hyped combine stuff tomorrow. Again, I'm just behind. It's supposed to be today. Just behind. My apologies. But shout out to Squad for always sticking with me. Tomorrow's going to be another big draft day. Tomorrow's going to be mock draft heavy, prospect heavy. So I hope you guys want to talk about the draft for a solid 2 hours tomorrow. If you have time and are available for that, I hope you have. If you do, come back around because we're going to be talking a lot. We're going to be talking a lot about that. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, I will be seeing you guys from Indianapolis. And we'll be getting the combine content going like crazy. So I'm excited about that. But I will catch you guys tomorrow. I'm going to go over mock draft. First mock draft of the year released. And we're going to talk about combine prospects that we got our eye on. So for all that, show up tomorrow. Appreciate you guys as always. You guys have a great night. And let's do it again tomorrow.